hospitality. I'm grateful for you guys taking the time to come and sit down at the round table, a couple of topics. I have a really uh, uh, fun topic to me to just kind of think about and ponder today. I hope that you guys just allow this to speak to you. So, my topic that I want to discuss today is about if we do not walk out our purpose for which we were created, life will be difficult. I'm going to give you an example from Genesis dealing with Adam and Eve. So I'm going to start off by reading Genesis 1:28 through 30. It said, God blessed them. God saved, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Then God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. It shall be food for you, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the sky, and everything that moves on the earth, which has life. I have given every green plant for you. And it was so. So God starts off with a blessing to Adam and Eve. It starts off with him giving a very direct, clear avenue for what they should be doing. He goes on to say in Genesis 3, this is after the fall. This is after they chose what was best in their own eyes. This is God's response to them. Genesis 3:16. To the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your pain in childbirth. Remember, he just finished saying, be fruitful and multiply. He wanted them to fill the earth. Now he's informing her that your command is still the same, but now it's going to be difficult. In pain you will bring forth children, yet your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Remember, they were supposed to rule together. They were co-heirs. Then he said to Adam, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten from the tree about which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. And so again, in chapter 1, he had told them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth. And then he said, I've given you every I've given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. It shall be food for you. And I've given you every beast of the earth, and every bird of the sky, and everything that moves on the earth which has life. I've given every green plant for food, and it was so. And so in the beginning, he had already made it. He'd already given you all the food. You didn't have to go till the ground. It was already there. You didn't have to work hard. It was already so. And so now we see that cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you will eat of it all the days of your life. Now remember, he doesn't say cursed is the ground, you'll not get anything. He's saying you're still going to get something, but now life is just going to be so much more difficult. By the sweat of your face you will eat bread. I don't know, I make challah every week. I started off making 2 or 3 loaves. Now I make 20 or 25 loaves a week, and it can be tough work. But I just wonder, how tough should it be? If we were inside of God's grace, which we are, but in the beginning, I wonder, what would this be like? By the sweat of your face, you will eat bread. Till you, from my interpretation of this, by the sweat of your face is because of the effort I have to put in to go get the wheat or go get the flour, and I have to thresh it, and I have to grind it, and I have to do all this work to get the food to come forth because I'm living outside of this blessing. Till you return to the ground, because from it you were taken, for you were dust, and dust you shall return. And this is just such an example of what life is like. Now, we're all living in the fall. Things are not perfect, and there's a lot of evil and unnecessary things in this world that God did not desire, but they're here now because of it. And until he returns, they're still going to be here. But in our daily walk, God created us on purpose with a purpose. He designed you, designed me to do specific tasks. And I know I've used the example before, but if I want to hang a picture on a wall and I have a nail, but instead of using a hammer, I use a screwdriver to hammer it in. Will the nail go in the wall? Probably so. It depends if I'm hitting a stud or if I'm just going to sheetrock. But again, if I use the hammer and the tools that I'm supposed to, it makes the task easier. And there's things that I'm supposed to be doing that you're supposed to be doing. And if I'm going the long way around, or if I'm not in his will, then my life is going to be more difficult. As men and women, we're created to work and to protect all the earth. We didn't do our job, but we have the opportunity to be awakened to our purpose. I've given you guys the stats. Less than 10% of the entire worldly population knows their purpose. Of the 10% that do know their purpose, less than 3% actually walk that out. It's such a low number, but it's an easy thing to do. Every week on Wednesday, Logos Mentality meets, and if you're new, you have the opportunity for us as a group to collectively discover your purpose, to write it down, 3 sentences. What's the obstacle that you're meant to overcome? How are you going to do that? And thirdly, a third sentence is just a capsulation of that victory statement. But it's something that you're going to live by. When we don't do our job, the result or the consequences or the amounting of our day will be pain and unproductivity. Nobody likes to walk through pain. Nobody likes to walk in unproductivity, but it's a choice that many of us make due to not being awakened to our purpose, or by being awakened but choosing not to walk in it. It doesn't mean that other circumstances go away immediately. It doesn't mean that there's not difficulties. What it does mean is that if I focus on my purpose and I do an exchange, I say, God, I have financial issues maybe, and I'm having difficulty paying rent, and there's just not enough resources. But God, I trust you. So I'm going to walk out my purpose and allow you to supply my needs. There's an exchange. Okay. Or saying, God, there's disunity in my family. And while I wish I could do something about disunity in my family, I'm going to do my purpose and trust you that you're going to handle disunity. There's an exchange of what we need to be doing. You allow God to do what God is supposed to do. He's going to handle the disunity. He's going to handle the financial issues. He's going to handle the promotions or the desire for a spouse, whatever it may be, while you focus on that which he created you to do. And I promise you, not only will you be productive and see a difference in what your purpose is, but God is a good God, and he will not be outgiven it. So if you give yourself over here, he will give you this in return. Now, it's not a give to get. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's a fact in the Bible when you see that whenever we give, that God is a giver. And so he wants to be able to bless you in the areas. He wants to answer your prayers. But a lot of times, at the same time, he wants to exchange. And so I'm just encouraging you guys today that if you don't know your purpose, you don't know your meaning for why you're here and why your duration on this earth, then we need to figure it out. It takes about 20 minutes, and we do it all the time. As a group, you can reach out to me personally on any social media, and I'll definitely schedule time to do that with you. Okay. But if you know your purpose, it should be a number one priority every single day. God, how can I be creative and walk this out? God, how can I do exactly what you've called me to do? And it starts with one individual, okay? So whatever your purpose is, whatever it is, you start by helping one person, okay? Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Don't compare yourself to somebody who's ministering or helping or encouraging hundreds or thousands of people. You start with one and you go from there. So guys, I know you can be productive. I know God has a purpose and a plan. Choose today. Make the choice today to say, God, what you created me for is more important than whatever struggle or whatever seems important to me.